Okay, well, good morning. Good morning. On the show this morning, we have Yolande Hill, photographer, insurance specialist, and so on. We're just going to sit and we're just going to chat about who Yolande Hill is, right? How you got to be the person that you are today. When you think about your life, what's your earliest memory?
As a baby, 2-3 years old, I had a little sister, new little baby sister, and I climbed up on her baby bed with a glass bottle in my mouth. Yes, they had glass bottles back in the day. The bottle fell, and I fell on the bottle and cut my eye.
Oh, my goodness. And is that the scar that you had?
That's the scar that I'll have for life, yes.
But how you feel about your baby sister, though?
Oh, I love her. She bugs me. No, I'm just kidding.
So tell me about the rest of your family. Tell me about your mother and your father. What did they do for a living?
My father was a truck driver, and my mother was a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
But the most interesting, and I tell this story only because it's so precious to me. Mm-hmm. My mother's mother died when she was a baby, and so did my father's father die when he was a baby. My mother was a nurse, and she was always helping people, and I wanted to be that pediatrician. I need to go above her.
So you didn't actually exactly follow in your parents' footsteps.
I started.
You started?
I started. It just was more than I can handle. When we got into the blood and guts of everything, of going, it's like, this is not for me.
Did you ever work public or private industry? So did you ever work for someone else, big company?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I actually worked for Vons. Over 35 years of my life, I worked in finance. So I'm going to say it like this. I have many hats.
Okay.
My degree is in photography and business administration.
Mm-hmm.
I have certifications in computer science.
Okay.
So I developed programs for accounting software for my one company, and then I developed a employee benefits program for another company.
Okay, so you're talking about employee wellness, which kind of falls under mom, right? A little bit, and then the accounting piece is your own. Okay, so and it evolved from there to to where you are now.
When I learned how to negotiate for the employee versus the employer,
okay.
It took me to another level. That's what got me into my own business as far as doing the insurance side. Okay,
that's some great work. I see you got your Medicare pin on.
Oh, yeah.
So who exactly does Medicare serve? Is it only seniors? I know there's Medicare, Medi-Cal. What's the difference? And, who is the population that you are directing your services to with the Medicare program?
Medi-Cal is state. It's the state of California.
Okay.
They cover those who are less fortunate.
Okay.
Medi-Cal is for 65 and older. So, but you can have Medi-Cal and Medicare if you are been declared legally disabled. I forgot to tell you, Medicare is federal.
Okay.
So if you become legally disabled after 2 years of being on Medicare in the system, there is a possibility that you will qualify for Medi-Cal if you're under 65. But that depends on the severity of your medical illness.
Okay, so it's open enrollment right now. Are you hosting events? Are you visiting sites? Are you going to see seniors? What are you doing?
I'm doing all of that. Okay. Hosting events, visiting seniors, educating the seniors, not only just on Medicare though, but people are calling them left and right. And the thing is that if someone calls you and say they want to talk to you about Medicare, they have the opportunity to hang up on them because technically, legally, we cannot call you without your permission. So if I was to call you and you didn't give me permission to call, I'm in violation and I could lose my license. Then you have the right to hang up. Don't answer questions. And a lot of that is fraud. And I just experienced one of my clients. I had just shared this with them, not answering the phone. If somebody's calling and saying they're Medicare and they didn't give their information to anybody. Mm-hmm. Well, someone transferred her Medicare information. She goes to the doctor and finds out that she's no longer with that plan.
Oh my goodness.
And that's where that fraud is coming in. There is big fraud on Medicare.
It's a big part of what you do is informing seniors who are a vulnerable population, especially with all of the technology that exists, about the fraudulent activities that exist, and also telling them about their rights, that if they have someone calling them, that they should question that, and if they're confused, then they should hang up.
Yes.
Okay, that is some good information. Okay, so is there ever a time when government or some official or someone that is acting in the right capacity would ever call a senior and ask them for their information? Does that ever happen?
Only time an official is going to call you, when they do call you, they will state who they are. They will give you their license number and give you the reason for their call. Okay. Their Medicare number is like your Social Security number. They will never ask them for that information. So when that information is asked, that is a fraud. That's fraud.
Okay, it's much like the banking system, right? Yes. There are protections in place. That is some fantastic information for our viewers. What I do for when I get those phone calls about banking information or anything concerning finance is that I tell them, thank you very much for the call. And then I hang up and I call the institution that they're calling from. Yeah. And I verify whether or not that number is the actual number. Right. And that if there was an occasion for them to call me, because I have been scammed before, and I think I'm pretty savvy. So if I've been scammed before, then I know our seniors who may not be as adept will also run into the same thing. Oh, yeah. So, wow, that's some great information about benefits. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, I know you have another passion. What is your other passion?
Oh, photography.
And in comes a beautiful smile, right? Tell me what brings this bright smile to your face when you start talking about photography.
Photography is an expression of who you truly are, to me.
Yes.
So, I started photography with another sister. This time, my sister had graduated from high school and she was going to Disneyland for grad night.
Okay.
And I said, here, take my camera. And dating myself, it was a 110 Anso camera. Okay. Film camera. Mm-hmm. And it took really nice pictures. Well, she lost it.
She lost your camera?
She lost my camera.
Oh, my goodness.
But I said, okay, I'm going to get another one. So I bought a 35 millimeter, didn't know what to do with it. And I took a class. In the senses, the rest is history. I learned how to use my camera, how to manipulate it, and how to capture different things. In my career of photography, and it's been going on for about 40 years. In my career of photography, I have photographed with Lisa Leslie.
The Sparks.
The Sparks. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I photographed Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
I've got to photograph even the Judds, those little sisters.
Okay, the Judds.
Yeah. I call myself the art of photography because photography is more than just taking a picture. It's capturing that art and seeing something totally different. So I can photograph you in one setting and photograph you in a totally different setting. And you'll be like, oh. But then I can also change it up if I manipulate it on my computer.
I imagine that some of our listeners are going to want to do what you've done, to be able to photograph professional sports, a major band or musician, or even go to some place as big as Dodger Stadium, especially with the new stadiums that we have here in California. Mm-hmm. What would you say to a young entrepreneur or someone that's getting started? How do you get in the space where you can take those kind of photographs or create that kind of art?
You actually have to write them.
Okay.
And it takes a little time. Explain who you are and explain what you want to do. If you have a portfolio, you can show your portfolio.
If you thought of a barrier that you may have had in both of your careers, what would that barrier be? And the one that sparks your mind the most? And what did you do to overcome it?
Social media.
I know, right? I know. I've finally gotten into my social media. I've got a little bit of a following going, but my goodness, it's a 24-hour a day job.
It is. It really is. And you have to stay on top of it. But when I meet different people, I learn something new. So I just figured out how to put pictures, a gallery on my Facebook.
Okay.
That way, when I'm sending people to my Facebook, they can see my work, not just go to my page and then have to scroll through and all the other stuff. No, they can go exactly to my photos
Okay.
and see my photos. I can post all my events on there. So I have 3 Facebook pages. I have my regular Facebook page, I have my insurance Facebook page, and I have my photo Facebook page.
Okay.
So when I'm doing different things, I post them on each page so that they can, I can direct traffic there.
Okay.
I'm still trying to master Instagram. I can't get that one just yet, but I'm working on it. But that's my biggest challenge.
Wow. Wow. You know, as I hear you speaking, and the most powerful thing is when you say, you've raised your head up, you know, and you see people and you see the world. That to me is just a message that needs to go out to the world. That is when you find that thing in your life that causes you to put your shoulders back, chest out, and I am somebody, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I always want to ask my guests if you could share a tidbit with others about how to do anything or how to become successful or feel good about yourself or whatever it is, what would you share?
Everything takes time.
Yes, patience.
And we have to do the homework on whatever it is that we want to get into. If you want to get into insurance, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a television host, you know, you've got to do your homework. You've got to be patient.
Okay.
And patience is a big thing because everything doesn't happen overnight.
Yes.
I mean, and it's also great if you have support.
Yeah.
But the key thing is be confident in yourself. And as I say, that is really a big thing to me, walking with my head up. I pushed numbers all day long. I didn't have to talk to anybody.
Right.
Now, when you talk to people, you learn so much.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to just have a conversation.
Yeah. So it's all about patience and doing your research and so on.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I'm so glad that I was able to have you on the show today. Thank you for coming. Thank you for
inviting me. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Until next time, Empowering Voices.